Hey everybody, my name is Russ. That is Lauren. Welcome to our Thursday topic video. And today is one that is not a surprise at all in this household that Lauren is going to talk about Howard Jones. Extremely short version on Lauren's newfound adoration for Howard Jones is that we went to see Culture Club and Berlin and Howard Jones were opening. And I wasn't overly familiar with Howard Jones, but I knew a couple of songs more than like the average person did. So I was really looking forward to it. And then like literally just every single song that he did through the whole set, you were like, this is great. So you've really, I don't think you've heard by any means everything he's done. But you've really done a deep dive, and so for people who may only know him as the No One's to Blame or the Life in One Day guy, there's a lot more.
There's so much
to it. Yeah. So you're going to walk people through 5 hidden gems that you like?
Yeah, more like 5 hidden gems, and these are all inadvertently later career stuff, which pleases me. I had a good time putting this list together. So the first one on the list is a song called Beating Mr. Neg from the Transform album in 2019. And as the first 4 on this list are pretty synthy electronic songs. So, but this one, as the title would say, that this is very much about getting out of your own head and beating the negative emotions, right? And what I love is the difference between the verses and the chorus musically, like sonically. You could tell like the verses are like, I'm in my own head, I'm like, my thoughts are racing and stuff, and then it shifts to a more major key for the chorus where he's like talking about beating these negative emotions. And I was like, well, thank you, Howard, we needed that today.
Yeah, no kidding. That is definitely something a lot of people need, a message a lot of people need. So you're going a little forward from that, from 2019 to 2022.
Yes. Yeah. There's a track called Who You Really Want to Be from his 2022 album Dialogue. And I don't think anybody at any point had on their bingo card Howard Jones writing lyrics about how the anonymity of comments on the internet is a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
And the message in this song is like, is that really like, find out who you really want to be and do that instead of hiding behind, anonymous things, and like get out of, because he wrote a lot of this during COVID lockdown. So like he's talking about like being locked down and like the fact that the internet was the only world that was really available at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not the world I want to spend most of my time in,
I had told you too when we were listening to that song, when we got that album, that it reminds me of a friend of mine who was in a very high profile band, has a song called Little Brother Is Watching, and that's what it's about, is the toxicity of online fandom and people in general. But the one other song I was talking about was about fandom and just how everybody has a comment about how much better they could have done it or what. And it's like, you don't understand that there's real people and feelings behind these artists, and it's even more so with everything to do with politics and religion and everything that gets discussed online. And I truly think that there's a whole generation of people who don't understand that there's a real person on the other side of it.
Yeah. Whew. So the next one is from 2015 off of the album Engage, and it's called The Walk. And this track opens with what sounds like a medieval choir sort of thing saying, "Oh, save me from the cynic that enslaves me."
Right.
And then the rest of the song goes through essentially like it says to Howard Jones basically has a thesis, right? It's like, you are the one who can make your life better. Like, don't rely on anybody else to do that. And this song is basically, it's called The Walk. And it's like, you know what? This walk is going to be difficult, but you doing that difficult thing is what's going to make your life better.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is great. It's very heavy, like electronic sounding music, except for it's so
that's
cool.
a message a lot of people can relate to, and a lot of people need to relate to. Like a lot of people who, this is going to sound like just old man yelling at cloud, but there's a lot of folks in the younger generation coming up that are very entitled over a lot of things. And it's like, no, you're going to have to go through some hardship. Like, I understand that some people have, become influencers. They get like one picture gets picked up and they become like, influencer, or like The one girl recently who had the viral video, and now she's like the largest listened podcast on the planet. And that's I understand that happens, but that's like beyond 1 in a million, you know, and people need to understand that they still are going to have to go through some hardships.
Yep. And like to that same point, the next track is from 2005, the album Revolution of the Heart, and it's called Stir It Up. This is my favorite musically of all of the more synthy electronic ones. It's very mid 2000s, you know, in the way that it sounds. But it's the same deal. It's like the thesis of this song is like, don't be complacent. If you're complacent, then you can't complain.
Right. And I think it's fun that there's an artist like Howard Jones who has been out there the entire time continually doing stuff. So it's a very like putting your money where your mouth is type thing. Like this is not a guy who just says one thing and then does another.
Right. And what he's been saying has been the exact same since he started.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like there's the line in New Song, you know, it's about, you know, don't be laden down by the doom crew. It's like, yeah, same thing is happening here.
Yep.
And the last one I want to talk about is a song called We Make the Weather from People in 1998. And this is such a pretty piano pop song. This is hands down my favorite song on this list. And this song is quickly becoming one of my just favorite songs in general. It's so pretty. And again, it's the same basic deal. Like, we make the weather. Like, if you have a gloomy outlook, then things are going to be gloomy.
One of my favorite memes in the past, I don't know, 15 years that I've seen is the, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, you know? And I like that line of we make the weather, you know? And it's one thing, like in our personal lives, you and I like always check the forecast for where we're at or where we're going for the day. But like, ultimately I almost always end up saying, this is what the temp's supposed to be. This is what it's supposed to be. And I'm like, but that doesn't matter anyways. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have a good time anyways, you know? And I've even been, where we live in Northern Florida, we have people I know that will go and be like, oh my God, it was terrible. It was raining and whatnot. And it's like, no, but it was still a gorgeous area. And like, there was plenty of coverage and you know what I mean? Like it's just strange. So yeah, I'm a big fan of people just saying, I'm going to be the one that decides how this goes.
Absolutely. And like, I had barely heard of Howard Jones, like I said before, you know, we went to that show, and I didn't realize how like profoundly his lyrical content was going to like hit me.
Yeah, you kind of probably were at first just like, oh well, synth.
Yeah.
And piano.
And it's so much fun, but like there's a line in this We Make the Weather song that says, hate the act, don't hate the actor of the circumstance.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like good people are going to do bad things, but don't hate them.
Right. Yep.
I'm just like, go Howard.
If you are a Howard Jones fan, let us know what you think of Lauren's picks. But also, if this is your first time on the channel or you haven't seen the other videos that we do one of the other series that we do every single week is we have a vinyl review video every Sunday. And very soon following this video that you're watching now, we will have a vinyl review of one of Lauren's Christmas presents, which is a double LP called Celebrate Together, which is I wouldn't call it a best of Howard Jones. I would call it more of like a collection, like of like a curated list of songs. The hits are on there, but more things like that. So if you're a Howard Jones fan and you want our thoughts on that, we will have a video following this one very soon, within a week or so, of our thoughts on that record. And when we do vinyl reviews, it's not necessarily a review of the actual record, but like if the actual vinyl pressing is worth your money. So if you're a Howard fan and you haven't purchased that yet, then you have that video to look forward to. But again, if you would please drop a comment, let us know what you think of Lauren's picks. Let us know what you like from Howard Jones and other songs that everybody else should take a listen to that aren't new song in like in one day.
Tell me, because again, I'm still very new to this, so throw your favorites down in there. Help me.
Yes, please do.
Help me help you.
Once again, that is Lauren. My name is Russ, and as we always say, thank you so much for watching.